Ever felt your hands go cold and your energy dip right when you need it most? Imagine reversing that with 3 foods already in your grocery store. I'm Dr. Justin Keller. In the next few minutes, you'll discover why circulation drops hard after 60, the quiet warning signs most men miss before a bigger problem hits, 3 specific foods, one sweet, one earthy, one from the sea, that can open your arteries in hours and keep them flexible for years. Exactly when to eat them for stronger performance, faster thinking, and warmer limbs. Stay to the end. The first food is the one most men overlook, yet it can raise nitric oxide faster than some medications. Type your city in the comments so we can see how far this message travels. And if you value clear, no-nonsense advice for aging with strength, hit like and subscribe right now. That single action lets me keep bringing practical lessons to glowing age. Let's get your blood moving. Why circulation drops after 60, and why it matters down there. What if I told you that poor blood flow is one of the earliest signs of aging, and it often shows up where most men least expect it? As a urologist, I see this every day. A man walks into my office not because of chest pain or high blood pressure, but because things aren't working like they used to in the bedroom. What many don't realize is this: erectile changes are often a circulatory issue first, not a testosterone problem. Your body is giving you a warning sign, quiet, subtle, and easy to miss, until it's not. So why does this happen? After 60, your blood vessels begin to change. The lining of your arteries, the endothelium, loses some of its flexibility. It doesn't dilate as easily. That means blood doesn't flow as smoothly. Add years of wear and tear from stress, poor diet, inflammation, and lack of movement, and those vessels begin to narrow. Circulation slows. Nutrients don't get delivered as efficiently. Oxygen doesn't reach your muscles or tissues as quickly. Now there's one molecule that plays a central role here: nitric oxide. Your body makes it naturally. It's the chemical that signals blood vessels to relax and open up. It's what allows for strong blood flow, especially during arousal. But here's the problem. By the time you hit 60, your nitric oxide production has dropped significantly. Some research shows levels fall by more than 50% compared to your 20s. That drop changes everything. Without enough nitric oxide, your arteries stay tight. Blood doesn't reach critical areas, your brain, your heart, and yes, your genitals as effectively. The result? Weaker erections, longer recovery time, and less physical responsiveness. It's not in your head, it's not just stress. It's your vascular system speaking up. But that's not all. Poor circulation affects your energy, focus, and recovery. If your blood can't deliver fuel efficiently, your muscles fatigue faster. Your mind feels dull. Even your immune system slows down. What starts as a small dip in performance eventually becomes a daily struggle to feel like yourself. Men often come in thinking they have a hormone issue. And while testosterone plays a role, I always check blood pressure, cholesterol, and circulation first. Because if your blood can't move freely, your hormones can't either. It's a closed loop. Everything depends on healthy vessels. And let's be clear, this doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. This is biology. Aging changes the machinery, but it doesn't mean you can't support it, repair it, or even reverse some of that decline. The key is understanding how circulation works and why your body's demand hasn't changed, but its ability to meet that demand has. Once you know that, you can take steps to support better blood flow naturally. I've seen men in their 60s and 70s feel sharper, stronger, and more connected again. Not by chasing youth, but by restoring the most basic function of the body: movement of blood. And it all starts with what you eat, how you move, and what you give your body to work with. Circulation is life. And nowhere is that more obvious than in the places where men feel it the most when it's missing. The silent signs of poor blood flow most men ignore. Does your body whisper warnings you've decided are just getting older? Those whispers often come from your arteries, and if you listen early, you can act before they shout. Start with your extremities. Cold feet in bed, tingling fingers while reading the newspaper, legs that feel heavy on a short walk. These are classic hints that blood isn't reaching the far edges of your body. The arteries in your hands and feet are narrow. Any stiffness in their walls shows up as chill, pins and needles, or slow healing of tiny cuts. Next, notice your afternoon brain. If you hit a wall at 2 o'clock, stare at a sentence 3 times before it makes sense, or forget why you opened the fridge, you may blame age or poor sleep. Often it's oxygen. The brain demands 20% of your blood supply. When flow drops, clarity drops with it. Research from the University of Cincinnati shows even mild vascular slowdown can shave measurable points off processing speed in men over 60. Mood follows blood, too. Low flow means less glucose and fewer mood-regulating neurotransmitters reaching the limbic system. You might feel flat, unmotivated, or oddly irritable. Patients tell me, "Doc, I'm not depressed, just dulled." That dullness is biological. Restore circulation, and many report a surprising lift in outlook without changing any life circumstance. Look at your recovery time. Climb a flight of stairs. How long before breathing eases? Healthy vessels rebound in under a minute. If you're still winded at the top, your heart is working against narrow pipes. The same principle applies to workouts, gardening, or even intimacy. Longer recovery equals tighter arteries. Speaking of intimacy, changes down there are among the earliest circulatory red flags. You may still achieve an erection, but firmness, duration, or angle shifts, not dramatic failure, often come first. That's because penile arteries are 1/10 the diameter of coronary arteries. Any plaque or stiffness shows up there years before a heart event. A 2018 study in Circulation found erectile changes predict cardiovascular problems up to 5 years in advance. Your bedroom is giving a preview of your future cardiology chart. Don't overlook nighttime bathroom trips. Waking twice or more to urinate isn't always a prostate story. Poor pelvic blood flow can irritate bladder nerves, creating urgency. Combine that with mild heart inefficiency and fluid shifts while lying down, and you have fractured sleep and creeping fatigue the next day. Finally, watch small wounds. A nick from shaving that lingers, a scratch on the shin that stays pink for weeks. Slow tissue repair means sluggish microcirculation. Healthy capillaries bring immune cells that seal and rebuild skin quickly. If they're blocked, healing crawls. Individually, these signs feel harmless. Together, they paint a picture: vessels losing flexibility, nitric oxide declining, and tissues receiving ration supplies. The danger is subtlety. You get used to each symptom and never connect the dots. But knowledge is power. Recognizing these signals lets you intervene with diet, movement, and targeted nutrients before medication or surgery become your only choices. In the next section, I'll show you exactly what your body needs to reopen those channels and bring youthful volume back to every corner without heroic measures or expensive supplements. What your body actually needs to boost flow after 60. You don't need a prescription to start improving your circulation. What your body needs most after 60 isn't a miracle pill. It's the raw materials it stopped producing in large amounts on its own. Once you understand what those materials are and why they matter, you can rebuild better blood flow, energy, and even performance from the inside out. Let's start with the most important one: nitric oxide. This molecule is what tells your blood vessels to relax and expand. Without it, your arteries stay tight, your blood pressure rises, and oxygen delivery drops. Unfortunately, nitric oxide levels decline naturally with age. By the time you're 60, production may be cut in half or more. That means even if your heart is trying its best, your vessels aren't cooperating. Blood simply doesn't move as freely. But here's the good news. Your diet can stimulate nitric oxide production. Certain foods rich in natural nitrates, like beets and leafy greens, convert into nitric oxide once they enter your system. That process can restore elasticity to blood vessels and dramatically improve blood flow in just a few weeks. Next, your body needs antioxidants, especially flavonoids and polyphenols. These aren't trendy buzzwords, they're molecular defenders. After 60, oxidative stress becomes a daily attack on your arteries. Tiny cracks form in the vessel walls, cholesterol builds up, inflammation settles in. Antioxidants repair and protect the lining of your arteries, the endothelium, keeping your vessels smooth and responsive. Foods like dark berries, citrus, cacao, and olive oil are loaded with these compounds. Don't overlook omega-3 fatty acids either. These essential fats found in fatty fish like salmon and sardines reduce blood viscosity, thickness in simple terms. When your blood is too thick, your heart has to work harder and flow slows down. Omega-3s thin the blood naturally, reduce plaque buildup, and calm systemic inflammation. They also support the brain, joints, and hormone balance, areas where older men often notice the biggest drop-off. Another critical need: magnesium. This mineral relaxes your blood vessels, helps regulate heartbeat, and supports over 300 biochemical reactions in your body. Low magnesium is extremely common in older adults, especially those taking medications like diuretics or proton pump inhibitors. Low levels can lead to high blood pressure, poor sleep, and sluggish circulation. Leafy greens, nuts, seeds, and dark chocolate are good sources. You can also consider a low-dose supplement, but always talk to your physician first. Let's not forget amino acids, particularly L-arginine and L-citrulline. These are building blocks your body uses to make nitric oxide. While supplements exist, many men can get solid benefits from food sources like nuts, seeds, chickpeas, watermelon, and lentils. These compounds work together with natural nitrates to fuel the body's nitric oxide engine. Also essential, healthy fats. Not all fat is harmful. In fact, your hormones, including testosterone, are made from fat. If you strip fat out of your diet, your testosterone drops, your energy tanks, and your blood vessels stiffen. Monounsaturated fats from olive oil, avocado, and nuts help regulate cholesterol, stabilize blood sugar, and reduce inflammation, all while supporting arterial health. And finally, your body needs movement. You don't have to run marathons, but daily, intentional movement pushes blood through your system and teaches your vessels to stay open and flexible. Walking after meals, stretching before bed, light resistance exercises. These signal your circulatory system to stay active. Blood flow isn't just a function of the heart. It's a full-body process that starts with what you eat and how you live. When I work with patients over 60, we never chase youth. We chase function. The ability to get out of a chair without effort, to sleep through the night without interruption, to feel warmth, clarity, and desire again, not because of a prescription, but because your body is being given what it needs, not just what's convenient. What you feed your body is either fuel or friction. After 60, you need to stop guessing and start giving your body the ingredients it's quietly asking for every day. In the next sections, I'll show you exactly which foods deliver those ingredients and how to use them to restore the flow where it matters most. Food 1: beets, the nitrate-rich root that restores flow. Imagine eating a vegetable at lunch and feeling warmer hands and a stronger pulse by dinner. That's the power of beets, and the secret is their natural nitrate load. Here's what happens in your body. When you chew or juice beets, bacteria on your tongue convert plant nitrates into nitrites. After you swallow, stomach acid turns those nitrites into nitric oxide, the master signal that orders blood vessels to open. Wider vessels mean lower pressure, increased oxygen delivery, and faster nutrient transport to muscles, brain, and yes, the tissues responsible for a firm response during intimacy. A 2015 study in hypertension showed adults over 60 who drank beetroot juice experienced a measurable rise in nitric oxide and a corresponding drop in systolic blood pressure within 3 hours. Performance cyclists use the same principle to boost endurance. My patients use it to regain warmth in their feet, stamina in daily chores, and confidence with their partner. But raw beets aren't everyone's favorite. Here are practical ways to use them without turning every meal purple. Roasted wedges. Slice, drizzle with olive oil, sprinkle a pinch of sea salt. Roast at 400 degrees F until tender. Roasting concentrates sugars, giving a sweet, earthy flavor that pairs well with goat cheese or walnuts. One medium beet supplies roughly 300 mg of nitrates, enough for a functional bump in nitric oxide. Blood flow salad. Grate raw beets into thin strands, toss with arugula, another nitrate star, a squeeze of lemon, and a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. The vitamin C in lemon accelerates nitrate conversion, while olive oil delivers heart-protective polyphenols. Morning shot. Blend half a cooked beet with 4 oz of water and a slice of fresh ginger. The spice aids digestion. The beet primes vessel flexibility for the day ahead. Sip slowly. Your tongue bacteria need time to start the nitrate cascade. Beet cacao smoothie. For men craving sweetness, mix roasted beet cubes, unsweetened cocoa powder, a handful of spinach, and unsweetened almond milk. Cocoa flavonoids and beet nitrates create a double boost for blood flow without spiking blood sugar. Timing matters. Peak nitric oxide occurs 2 to 3 hours after ingestion, then tapers over 6. For evening performance, aim for a late afternoon beet snack. For morning vigor and clearer thinking, take your beet shot at breakfast. Safety is straightforward. Beets can darken urine and stool. That's harmless. If you form kidney stones easily, moderate your portion. Beets contain oxalates. Those on blood pressure medications should measure at home. Adjusting dosage may be necessary because effective nitrates can further lower readings. Quality counts. Choose firm, deep-colored roots. The darker the crimson, the richer the nitrate profile. Organic beets often have higher mineral content and fewer pesticide residues that might interfere with gut bacteria, the very microbes responsible for nitrate conversion. One note on mouthwash: antibacterial rinses wipe out the oral microbes that convert nitrates. If you must rinse, do it at a different time of day. Keep your oral microbiome alive. It's the gateway to nitric oxide. I've watched retired plumbers, teachers, even a 78-year-old jazz drummer revive their stride with a simple beet habit. They didn't change prescriptions, they changed their plate. When you feed your arteries what they understand, they respond, sometimes within a single afternoon. In the next segment, we'll explore a food many consider indulgent: dark chocolate, and why, in the right form, it might be the tastiest circulation medicine you'll ever enjoy. Food 2: dark chocolate, cacao, the pleasure food with serious benefits. What if your nightly square of chocolate could do more for your arteries than some prescription drugs? That's not fantasy, it's biochemistry. Real dark chocolate, think 85% cacao or higher, is loaded with flavonoids, natural compounds proven to open blood vessels, lift mood, and temper inflammation in men over 60. Here's the mechanism. When you eat high cacao chocolate, flavonoids trigger an enzyme called endothelial nitric oxide synthase. That enzyme converts arginine in your blood into nitric oxide, the same molecule we discussed with beets. More nitric oxide equals wider vessels, lower pressure, and stronger, faster blood flow where you need it. A 2018 meta-analysis in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that adults who consumed 30 grams of dark chocolate daily for 4 weeks improved flow-mediated dilation, the gold standard test of artery flexibility, by nearly 7%. That's a larger change than many see on first-line blood pressure medication. The bonus is dopamine. Cacao naturally boosts this feel-good neurotransmitter, lifting mood and sharpening focus without the jitter of coffee. Many of my older patients describe a gentle, switch-on feeling after a small square of chocolate with lunch. Hands warm, thoughts clear, motivation back online. That mental lift often precedes a physical one in the evening. But purity matters. Sugar stiffens arteries, milk proteins block flavonoid absorption. Aim for bars labeled 85% or higher or raw cacao nibs. If the bitterness turns you off, combine chocolate with heart-healthy fats. Spread a teaspoon of almond butter on a square of 90% chocolate. The monounsaturated fat slows glucose absorption and supplies magnesium, another vessel relaxer. Melt 2 squares into a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil and drizzle over berries. Polyphenols from oil and cacao create a compound boost in antioxidant activity. Toss cacao nibs into overnight oats with ground flaxseed. The fiber tempers any sugar spike and feeds gut bacteria that further convert flavonoids into nitric oxide-promoting metabolites. Timing counts. Flavonoid-induced nitric oxide peaks about 2 hours after consumption and lasts 4 to 6. For evening intimacy, enjoy your chocolate mid-afternoon. If you struggle with acid reflux or sensitive sleep, keep portions to 10 grams and finish before 4 p.m. Cacao contains mild caffeine and theobromine. Quality safeguards: store bars in a cool, dark cupboard. Heat degrades flavonoids. Check labels for processed with alkali. That Dutching step destroys up to 80% of beneficial compounds. You want the natural, slightly acidic punch. That's where the medicine lives. Cautions are few but real. If you're on MAO inhibitor antidepressants, cacao may enhance their effect. Consult your physician. Those with kidney stones should moderate because chocolate contains oxalates, though far less than spinach. I've witnessed remarkable changes from this simple pleasure. One 72-year-old patient, a retired engineer, swapped afternoon cookies for a single 88% square. Within a month, his blood pressure readings had dropped 8 points systolic, and he reported steadier energy, warmer extremities, and a definite improvement in bedroom confidence. Same calories, radically different chemistry. Dark chocolate proves that better circulation doesn't require suffering. The right kind of indulgence can be part of the remedy, paired with nitrates from beets and omega-3s from fish, which we'll cover next. You create a daily trifecta that nourishes your arteries from 3 directions: nitric oxide production, antioxidant defense, and anti-inflammatory fat balance. Enjoy the richness, let the flavonoids do their quiet engineering inside your vessels, and remember, sometimes the path to better blood flow is paved with a square of perfectly bitter chocolate. Food 3, fatty fish, omega-3s for blood flow and hormone health. If there's one food group I recommend almost universally to men over 60 who are looking to restore circulation, vitality, and hormonal balance, it's fatty fish. Wild-caught salmon, sardines, mackerel, and anchovies aren't just heart-healthy, they're blood vessel medicine. And for men, they do more than protect the heart. They help keep your body and mind sharp and your performance steady, especially when blood flow is the goal. Here, SY. Fatty fish are the richest natural source of omega-3 fatty acids, particularly EPA and DHA. These aren't ordinary fats. They're long-chain anti-inflammatory compounds that actively improve the quality and function of your blood vessels. They do this by reducing chronic inflammation in the arterial walls, which is one of the hidden culprits behind stiffened arteries, restricted blood flow, and sluggish circulation. When inflammation goes down, the endothelium, that thin lining inside your arteries, starts to work better. It becomes more responsive, more elastic, and better able to release nitric oxide. That's the very compound responsible for dilating vessels and improving circulation during arousal and physical exertion. Studies published in Circulation and the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition show that regular omega-3 intake leads to improved endothelial function, reduced arterial plaque, and even lower resting blood pressure. For men, that translates not just to better heart health, but to stronger, more reliable performance down there. But omega-3s don't stop at blood flow. They support testosterone production, which naturally declines with age. Cholesterol is the building block of testosterone, and omega-3s help transport and process cholesterol in a way that favors hormone production, not plaque buildup. That means more support for your strength, motivation, libido, and overall energy. Here, how to get them into your routine without overthinking it. 1 grilled or baked salmon twice a week. A 5-ounce portion provides over 2,000 mg of omega-3s, more than enough to create a positive effect on vessel health. Squeeze fresh lemon over the top to add vitamin C, which helps protect those fats from oxidation. 2 sardines on whole grain toast or crackers. Packed with omega-3s, calcium, vitamin D, and protein. The bones are soft, edible, and loaded with minerals your heart and muscles need. Just make sure they're canned in olive oil or water, not soybean oil. 3 mackerel with sautéed greens. This fish is nutrient-dense, flavorful, and excellent for omega-3s. Pairing it with kale or spinach adds magnesium and nitrates, further supporting blood flow. 4 anchovies in tomato sauce or on salads. Just a few anchovy fillets can add a potent omega-3 dose, along with salt and umami flavor. Use them to replace high-sodium dressings or seasoning blends. For men who don't enjoy fish or struggle with preparation, a high-quality omega-3 supplement made from wild-caught, cold-pressed fish oil is a valid alternative. But always check with your doctor first, especially if you're on blood thinners. Here is something I tell all my male patients. If your blood is thick and inflamed, your heart, your brain, and your sex life all suffer quietly. Omega-3s thin the blood naturally, reduce clot risk, and allow every cell to function better, because everything in your body depends on good circulation. You may not feel it on day one, but after 2 to 3 weeks of consistent omega-3 intake, many men report clearer thinking, steadier mood, less joint stiffness, and improved bedroom confidence. Why? Because when blood flow improves, every system downstream benefits. Energy rises, sleep deepens, and the body begins to feel you again. A final note, always choose wild-caught fish when possible. Farmed fish may contain higher levels of inflammation-promoting omega-6s and chemical residues. Look for labels like wild Alaskan or Poland line caught. Store frozen fillets if fresh isn't available. Add lemon, herbs, or garlic, not just for taste, but for added circulatory support. The right kind of fat doesn't make you heavier. It makes you stronger, more focused, more vital. Fatty fish, combined with beets and dark chocolate, form a daily foundation that restores blood flow naturally and supports aging not as a decline, but as a powerful new chapter of strength. You've just learned how beets, dark chocolate, and fatty fish work together to thin your blood, relax your vessels, and lift your energy without pills. Pick one of these foods today, add it to lunch, feel the difference by evening, and tell us in the comments what changes first. If this guide helped you, like the video and subscribe to Glowing Age. Your support keeps these doctor-led lessons coming, so every man over 60 can age with power, not pressure. Stay strong, stay curious, and keep your blood flowing.